Volodymyr Zelensky came to town, came to the United States, to the critical swing state of Pennsylvania, to seemingly campaign for Democrats. So now we have a foreign leader coming onto U.S. soil, yucking it up with the Democratic governor and Democratic senator. This seems like a foreign influence campaign to me. Notice they don't say anymore, oh, we have to protect against the influence of a foreign power on our electoral system. They say we have to protect against the influence of foreign adversaries. If you're an adversary, you can't meddle in our election. If you're Volodymyr Zelensky, who's already gotten $115 billion of our taxpayers' funds, he can come over here and pose for photo ops with, Democrats in swing states a month before the election. That's totally fine. I met with Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Senator Bob Casey, and Congressman Matt Cartwright. I'm grateful for all their support. We agreed to work even more actively to increase our common strength, the strength of both Ukraine and America. I also want to extend my special gratitude to everyone who welcomed us in Scranton with the blue and yellow colors of our flag. So we're going to play a little bit of this video that is attached to this tweet here.
It is my honor to serve as the governor and to have you here in the home of Senator Bob Casey, our United States Senator, President Biden, and many others. We are blessed to have so many Ukrainians living here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the second largest number in the entire United States of America. And we feel a special kinship to them and to all of you in your work to defend Ukraine. We stand with you, and we look forward to the conversation here today, and we're honored that you're spending time with us. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Governor, and thank you so much, senators and friends, and we are very happy to start our visit to America from this city, from your city, from Scranton, from Pennsylvania, and for us it's very important to say thank you to ordinary people. I think that today we will have such possibility from us, from all Ukrainians, to say thanks to all Americans for such support, and we're very happy that we have such partners, and of course we understand that United States helped us from the very beginning of full-scale war, but we still count on continuing support. We are thankful to President Biden, bipartisan support, and thanks to such plants and such workers, officers, soldiers, surgeons, for such support that you stay with us. Thank you, Governor, for such words. We're ready for conversation.
Okay, so when
All
he
right,
said
all right,
there,
all right. Can you just say you won't escape this time, Mr. Bond? Can you please say that?
Exactly, yeah. So when he said there, I want to thank the workers and at the plants. This is what he was referring to here. Ukraine's Zelensky visits Pennsylvania ammunition plant to thank workers and ask for more. He should have just asked for some right off the floor there. Hey, I have a bag with me. Can you mind I stuff some in on the way back?
Also, I understand local Dairy Queen make very good slurry.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Under tight security, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Sunday visited a Pennsylvania ammunition factory to thank the workers who are producing one of the most critically needed munitions for his country's fight to fend off Russian ground forces. Representative Matt Cartwright, a Democrat who was among those who met with Zelensky at the Scranton Army ammunition plant, said the president had a simple message: thank you, and we need more. The Scranton plant is one of the few facilities in the country to manufacture 155 millimeter artillery shells and has increased production over the past year. Ukraine has already received more than 3 million of them from the U.S. Zelensky said he expressed his gratitude to all of the employees at the plant. And so in this tweet, he says, Scranton, Pennsylvania, I visited a plant that manufactures 155 mm artillery shells. Now, for our warriors who are defending not only our country, not only Ukraine, the plant will be ramping up production. Jobs, jobs, jobs. USA, USA. I began my visit to the United States by expressing my gratitude to all the employees at the plant and by reaching agreements to expand cooperation between Pennsylvania and our Zaporizhia. I'm supposed to know how to say that. I don't. Fuck it. It is in places. It's in places like this where you can truly feel that the democratic world can prevail, thanks to people like these in Ukraine, in America, and in all partner countries who work tirelessly to ensure that life is protected. Zelensky's visit kicked off a busy week in the United States. He will speak at the UN General Assembly annual gathering in New York on Tuesday. That's today, so we might have some stuff to report on that for Thursday's show. And Wednesday, and then travel to Washington for talks on Thursday with President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris as she seeks to shore up support for Ukraine. The area around the ammunition plant had been sealed off since Sunday morning, with municipal garbage trucks positioned across several roadblocks and a very heavy presence of the city, regional, and state police, including troopers on horseback. As Zelensky's large motorcade made its way to the ammunition plant in the afternoon, a small contingent of supporters waving Ukrainian flags assembled nearby to show their appreciation for his visit. Keyword there, small. It's unfortunate that we need a plant like this, but it's here, and it's here to protect the world, said Vera Koval-Krusin, a first-generation Ukrainian-American who was among those who greeted Zelensky's motorcade. And I strongly feel that way. She said many of her friends' parents have worked in the ammunition plant, and she called Zelensky's visit a wonderful thing. Larissa Salek, 60, whose parents also immigrated from Ukraine, said she was pleased Zelensky came to thank the workers. She said it upsets her that funding for Ukraine's defense has divided Americans and that even some of her friends oppose the support, saying the money should go to help Americans instead. Well, this is literally how, this war is now sold to a lot of people. I mean, Chris Hedges wrote about this in America the Farewell Tour. One of our last manufacturing bases is the military-industrial complex.
Wolf Blitzer said it in an interview. Somebody was talking about demilitarizing. He said, well, it's a lot of jobs.
It's a lot of jobs. That's right. That's right. And so the insult to come here and act as if over $100 billion out the door to an unwinnable war that should have never started in the first place is somehow a boon to the working class of America, because it gives these people in Scranton something to do with their hands for a job. Like, that's the manufacturing base we need. Almost every item in your house has a Made in China label on the back. We don't bring any of that back here, but we will build bombs here. We will build these artillery shells here that we're so proud of. And when I say proud, I mean proud. So Governor Josh Shapiro tweeted out this video: "We must do our part in this fight for freedom from the workers in Scranton who make Pennsylvania the arsenal of democracy." Talk about Orwellian speak. The arsenal of democracy. To the brave Ukrainian soldiers protecting their country. We stand with Ukraine in their just defense of their homeland in the face of Russian aggression. So here he is. I guess he was jealous of Nikki Haley's signing of the missiles in Israel. So here he is. He tweets out this video. Bob Casey and Zelensky in the background. Here he is writing his Valentine on the artillery shells. And there you have it. A very, very proud moment. Very, very
Make
proud.
out the moose and squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very proud of that. You just talk about the propaganda of it all. Like I said, to package this and present this as a win for workers, which is what they're doing. I mean, that was the purpose of this trip, is to highlight, hey, you know what? This Ukraine war isn't actually a drain on American resources. This is actually
a job creator.
A job creator. That's right. We're creating jobs. This is prosperity. The arsenal of democracy. It is quite astounding that they have been able to keep this going as long as they have. Just in terms of the propaganda war, most Americans are now against continued funding for Ukraine, and now that a final red line has been drawn, the doomsday clock is getting closer to midnight. But it's just incredible to see a stunt like that. How you can come in here and after you've already taken 100 plus. It was 115 at the last, probably more than that now. It's probably an obsolete figure. It's at least $115 billion. $115 billion. The workers, we want to thank the workers at this plant. If you divide $115 billion by the number of workers at that plant, do you think they each got that big a piece of the action? I would imagine not. That's just the workers alone.
Yeah, and this has really put the lie to the idea that we cannot help Americans go to college, that we cannot provide universal health care. The money is there. The reason they don't want to give you the money is because it will empower you. They do not want an empowered public. An empowered public is not a frightened public. It's a confident public. It's a public that's going to demand things from its employers, that's going to demand things from its politicians. They want you scared and enfeebled. They want you hungry and without a doctor. That's what they want. They are showing you, oh, it's everybody gets a pony. No, it's not. Well, every Ukrainian apparently gets a pony.
Right.
We're literally funding their government, not just the war. We're funding their government, which includes, guess what? Something you don't have: universal health care. Now, this is where, and we've been speaking more on this lately, to the chagrin of some. This is the whole anti-woke Elon Musk grift. They know you're angry, and they do not want you to start to question the way the economy is set up. They want to direct your anger at drag queens. They want to direct your anger at gender medicine. They want to direct your anger at DEI. Don't look at the fact that as soon as they tried to unionize at an Elon plant, he broke that up. Right? They want to keep you looking at things that really do not affect them at all, just like the other side does. Just like on the other side, they want you look, as long as you are fighting about those things, you're not saying, why can't I see a doctor? And they are using that as a stealth way to get you not to ask for more, because if you ask for more, you're a Marxist, right? You're one of the neo-Marxist drag people if you want universal health care. This is what they're doing to a lot of people. They're brainwashing them into associating these cultural grievances with demands to empower themselves and other workers. That's what I mean when I talk about a peasant mind. They're training you to fight against your own interests on behalf of people like Elon, who would not piss on you if you were on fire, I assure you.
Exactly. And before we end this segment, I just want to add as a little end note here that business is about to start booming even more. At one point in the war, Ukraine was firing between 6,000 and 8,000 of the 155 millimeter shells per day. That rate started to deplete U.S. stockpiles and drew concern that the level on hand was not enough to sustain U.S. military needs if another major conventional war broke out, such as a potential conflict over Taiwan. In response, the U.S. has invested in restarting production lines and is now manufacturing more than 40,000 rounds a month, with plans to hit 100,000 rounds per month. So they once again will try and package war, not only endless war in Ukraine, but hey,
program.
what if we start? What if there's a war over Taiwan? It's a jobs program, right? So now they attach in the mind of people who work at this plant, hey, the more hawkish the United States foreign policy, the more jobs for us, right?
Right. And hey, I have been saying this for a while. Yes, I do think that they are not controlling immigration at the border to suppress labor power. I don't think it's an accident that as soon as the union movement started to gain new life, all of a sudden you have this overwhelming amount of immigration coming up from the border. Now, again, they want to direct your attention to cat people and devouring Fluffy, rather than to look at the systemic question, which a lot of the people pointing you in that direction are complicit in, of not looking at the power that employers have over the workforce over labor. All of this is directed at keeping you, whether it's from the so-called left or so-called right. Frankly, I think both at this point of the mainstream, quote unquote, mainstream versions are such a corrupted and just idiocracy version of both that they're almost not even worthy of that name in either case. But roughly speaking, within the context of our politics, what we give those names to, it's all aimed at disempowering you and keeping you fighting over nothing. This is why we're post-duopoly, because they're both doing that to you. There is no salvation in that direction.
Please clap.